The Falmer are one of the most tragic and shocking stories in all of the series. An entire race that was turned into nothing but a monstrosity, banished to a life of meaningless horror in the deepest depths of Nirn. You see, a long time ago, there was another elvish or mer race on Tamriel, and more specifically, native to Skyrim, called the Snow Elves. They retained immense power in the region, along with the Dwemer of the time, but a new adversary was starting to encroach on the land as well. Human Nords in the north, from the northern continent of Atmora, from across the sea, were now starting to settle on the northern parts of Skyrim. And for some unknown reason, maybe due to the Nords finding an ancient relic, that being the Eye of Magnus, the Snow Elves launched an attack on the Nordic capital of Skyrim, Sarthal, slaughtering countless innocent Nordic peoples. In retaliation, a massive and powerful army of Nords sailed across the sea from Atmora to Skyrim to help their brethren, and managed to decimate their Snow Elf foes, pushing them back to their final cities in pure defeat. As a last-ditch effort, the Snow Elves reached out to the Dwemer, asking for help, for them to use their machines and great underground capitals to defend them, instead of sitting idly by. And the Dwemer actually accepted this proposition, but on only one condition. The Snow Elves had to take a poison that would blind them, and stay within the depths of their deepest underground cities. The original story states that this is how the Falmer were born, that the Dwemer blinded them all, and then used them as a giant slave workforce to create more massive tonal architecture. But the problem with this is, why would the Dwemer actually need this? They already had massive robotic machines that did all the work, and for a usually peaceful race, simply subjugating the Snow Elves to such torture for no reason seems out of character. On top of this, how did the Snow Elves go from this to this? Certainly the lack of sunlight and blindness would have caused some alterations, but becoming the monster we know now as Falmer seems like a bit of a stretch. More modern theories from many YouTubers like Avarti actually presume that this radical transformation into Falmer monstrosity may have actually occurred for a different reason. As we know, the Dwemer had an obsession with ascending to the realm of the gods, as they saw themselves as equals. So what if the Snow Elves were actually being used in some sort of experiment, to see if they could be transcended into a new realm as a guinea pig, before the Dwemer actually tried it on themselves? This is potentially implied in the Dwemer tablet from Calcio, which we can find in-game in Skyrim in the Hard Answers questline, which at one point, when translated into English, states, "And so it was your people were given passage to our steam gardens and the protection of our power. Many of your people have perished under the roaring, snow-throated kings of Mara, and your wills were broken. Only by the grace of the Dwemer did your race survive. We did not ask for thanks, for we do not believe in it. We do not ask for gratitude, for we do not believe in it. We only request that you partake in the symbol of our bond, the fruit of the stones around us. And as your vision clouds, as the darkness sets in, fear not. Know only our mercy and the radiance of our affection unbinds your bones to the earth before you, and sets your final path to the music of your new eternity." This tablet seems to be a record of the agreement between the Snow Elves and Dwemer, and if true, it implies that this guinea pig theory is most likely correct. It could be that these twisted experiment by the Dwemer slowly transformed the Snow Elves into these demented creatures, and when the Dwemer themselves mysteriously vanished out of nowhere, these damaged and damned Snow Elves had to learn to fend for themselves deep underground, all while being blinded and alone. A truly harrowing idea, that the once great race of the Snow Elves were tortured and abused so much that over time they became one of the scariest enemies in all of Skyrim.